This is The Tea Mind with me, Erica Moore. It's a space to slow down, step out of the noise, and see things a little more clearly. Some episodes are conversations around the moment that something clicked and what changed afterwards. Others are short clarity sessions, a few minutes where we sip tea together so we can come back to ourselves and think clearly in the middle of a full day. Because when the usual pace stops working and everything starts to feel a little bit unclear, the answer is rarely more information. It's usually a little more attention. A chance to pause and to see what's been overlooked, and to create enough space for clarity to find you. Welcome back to your pause for tea this week. And maybe like me, you often open your calendar and get a shock at how quickly the month is going, or something unexpected has popped up in your calendar, or maybe a task that's still sitting there that you thought you'd done but you totally forgot about it. Just that feeling that time's moving faster than you really understand. And you can find that weeks can get away with you, or at least it feels that way. So I just want to remind you that we're not trying to catch up on everything or solve anything today. We are just gifting ourselves the joy of a few minutes to sit with our tea so we can be a bit more present and hopefully get a little bit more clarity into our day to day. So today I am drinking one of my very favourite teas, Yellow Gold Oolong. So I encourage you to choose any oolong tea that you're drawn to if you have any to hand. Otherwise, any tea will be perfectly great. But oolongs sit in that wonderful place between black teas and green teas. So they are semi-oxidised, and these leaves are all hand rolled and they open really slowly in hot water. So they really lend themselves to being reinfused a number of times. And they're such complex depth of aroma to oolongs. There's everything from really light floral ones to really deep, dark, charcoal roasted oolongs. And for me, it almost sort of brings a sort of steadiness to my body and my mind. So yes, I'm curious as to what tea you are feeling drawn to today. So as your tea brews, let's just check in with ourselves to be fully present, feeling our feet firmly on the ground and just allowing the warmth of your tea to be enough as you slowly unwind your shoulders and get ready to sip your tea slowly as you breathe in and ease yourself into the next breath. And then just start by noticing the cup in your hands as the warmth of the cup just reaches your fingertips. And notice the steam that might be rising from the surface. Notice too how it can disappear almost as soon as you notice it. Perhaps you can hear some sounds too, maybe in the room with you or a little further away. Notice how the leaves settle as they brew. Just becoming aware of any ordinary sounds that we normally gloss over and don't really notice. And then as you take a little sip of your tea, just notice the first taste that comes to mind. Is it sweet or earthy, a little bit malty? And just become aware how the taste changes after a little time. Just notice what you can feel and taste in this moment. And sometimes our weeks can feel really busy because of what's happened and what's going on, but sometimes it feels busy because of what hasn't happened, or things that never actually found a place, or conversations that were never properly finished, or something that you really intended to do that hasn't actually happened. And those things have a way of staying with us week after week. They might not appear in our calendars as to-do lists, but they keep vying for our attention, whether we like it or not, in our mind. So as you take another sip now, just become aware how the flavour has changed since you first tasted the tea. Even though your tea hasn't suddenly changed or become anything different, you've just spent a little more time with it. Notice too how there may be things that you've been carrying all week that don't actually need your attention for the next few minutes. You can just leave them be exactly where they are. It's also interesting how quickly we can turn lost time into a personal failing, and it can become proof or evidence for us. A week that sort of moves faster than we expected, and somehow that verdict of failure arrives before the actual facts arrive. And yet some weeks aren't lost. They're just full of things that weren't on our list and we didn't plan for. Some wonderful things that actually matter, or maybe a problem that took a little bit longer, or something that couldn't be rushed. And as you continue to sip your tea, just feeling the warmth rising into your chest, just notice the aftertaste and how long it lingers. As you become aware of certain moments during your day and your week that disappear really quickly. And likewise, there are some moments that really linger long after they've happened. They have a lasting impact. And there's a lot more of those lasting moments than we realise. And as you take another sip, just let the cup rest in your hands. And when you think about the week that's just finished, the past 7 days for you, just get curious as to what you're still holding against yourself. Without judging it or trying to explain it, just notice, what are you still holding against yourself? And when you actually pay attention to it, is it actually unfinished, or is it simply over? And sometimes those can be two very different things. And sometimes these things that stay with us often aren't the things that are actually left undone. It's more the stories attached to them. Maybe it's a belief that we should have been somewhere else by now. And as you take another sip, just notice what's left in your cup. And notice what's left of the week. And as you look at what's left in your cup, there may be one thing that really stands out to you. It might not be the most obvious or the most urgent, but just one thing that just feels alive to you. Just notice whatever that is for you. Just let yourself notice. Everything else can just stay where it is for this moment. And as you take another sip of your tea, just notice the last traces of the flavour. Any warmth that's still there as you gently set your cup down. Noticing the sound that it makes against the table, signifying a small ending. And the week may not be finished, but it is complete enough to leave behind. So you can move your attention onto what's next. Thank you for joining me on this tea pause this week. I hope that was useful, and just pay attention to what has come up for you. Maybe something has become a little bit clearer. Maybe you can sit with that as you have your pauses for tea this week. If something in this episode stayed with you, don't try and change everything at once. Just start with a moment. Make the tea, let it steep. Take a breath and notice what is actually there. And from there, choose what matters next. Because clarity isn't something that we find, it's something that we make space for. This is the Tea Mind. Until next time, take care of your attention.